What's up, YouTube? It's your brother YT. Wake 'em up, back at it again with another video. Listen, we about to get into, once again, another rant on mass layoffs. Intel has laid off 38,000 workers. The numbers keep going up, anywhere from a few thousand all the way up to tens of thousands of workers being let go at one time. We are living through history. This is historic. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it.
I literally just got roasted in a meeting today, and honestly, I kind of deserve it.
I got laid off a few weeks ago from Microsoft, and to be honest, I don't necessarily feel stressed about finding a job.
I'll continue looking for a job in the field. It was a little iffy. They're calling it a termination based on things that happened in 2023.
Tech layoffs are really big. Literally every single one of these companies are conducting layoffs. Even companies that you've never even heard before. But right now, if you look to the layoffs, I mean, just last year we got probably like 150,000 people being fired in the tech industry, and this year so far almost 80,000. We're kind of on track to fire the same amount of people as last year, which is 150,000 people. That's insane considering some of the highest paying jobs are in tech, which means that some of the highest paid Americans no longer have jobs. And Intel is still on the layoff spree. What in the world is happening, Intel? Somebody tell me what's Intel's problem here. They just fired off another 529 people. I mean, the layoffs are nonstop. Intel has basically gutted like a third of their entire workforce in the span of like less than 15 months. And this company is really struggling because they used to be like this massive semiconductor provider, and they really screwed up over the years, like not partnering up with the latest iPhones. You know, that was supposed to be a deal they were going to sign like a decade ago, but they neglected that, said they only want to make computers. They also didn't really do well in the AI race, which NVIDIA and AMD did extremely well, and their semiconductor production is also being taken over by a lot of Taiwan companies too. Intel just simply isn't doing good, and the stock price reflects that. Stock price is the same as back in the late 1990s. Intel cutting 21,000 jobs. That was just about a month and a half ago.
21,000 jobs just a month and a half ago. Now we're talking about 38,000. They stacking up the layoffs. Imagine how their lives are going to change. Imagine how they can't have a summer vacation. Imagine how they don't know their next move, how they're going to put food on the table for their kids. Imagine how they base their life around their job just for it to be taken from them. People say start a business, but you also have to understand that the big businesses are going out of business. Right now is the time to be an investor, to invest into the next revolution. That's all you should be doing right now. Literally today is crypto week. Today, the legislation and the framework for cryptocurrency is being laid out this month and throughout August and September. More layoffs will come after that. As the economy goes down, these assets that I'm speaking of will go up. ISO 222 coins, to be frank, to be clear.
The fact that they cut 21,000 jobs is insane to me, which makes it by far the biggest layoff by a massive company this year. Okay, it's bigger than the Microsoft, it's bigger than the Amazon layoffs, 21,000 people, and that comes just after the 15,000 job layoff by Intel, because Intel fired like 15,000 people last year. Intel is just cutting just too many jobs. Just in the span of like 12 to 15 months, they probably fired about like 38,000 people, and that's not even an exaggeration. And Intel will continue to reduce more and more of their holdings, including this massive real estate building in Europe, which they have for more than 40 years. And the selling of this like 12-acre site is raising $12 million.
All right, let me correct myself. Like y'all know, these are reactions to these videos. So what this title is insinuating is 38,000 workers are being cut from Intel overall, or thus far, that many workers have been let go so far. Another thing we are seeing, big companies have to let go of the buildings that they've been occupying for more than 40 years. Even we see in Nissan, they got to let go of their headquarters. These big businesses are struggling just as much as the everyday person. The American empire is collapsing completely. More signs and more connections. Y'all see it. Can't deny it. This is not a conspiracy no more. The transfer of wealth is here, y'all.
Isn't even that much money. And yes, layoffs are everywhere. It's not looking good. But let me tell you, there are more Intel layoffs than I've ever seen. They recently got a new CEO, and this is the new CEO's entry, just basically doing some of the fattest layoffs. We're seeing tech layoffs. We are seeing insurance companies firing people because revenue is extremely bad due to Trump's policies. We're also seeing massive cuts in healthcare. We're also seeing massive cuts at Medicaid and Medicare, which is affecting a lot of workers. We're also seeing massive layoffs in the banking sector and the federal sector.
Yep, federal
So
workers.
you got all these layoffs, all these people in the market getting jobs, fresh college grads trying to get jobs too, so they're competing with you, and also people coming to the U.S. through visa programs trying to work as well. So the job market
Facts.
is just too hyper competitive to the point that people can't even find jobs despite having 10 years of work experience, which traditionally could easily land you any job that you want. Check out some of these videos, guys.
Did anyone else get laid off from Microsoft today? No, just my husband. Yeah, unfortunately, we had some surprise news this morning. There was a bunch of layoffs at Microsoft, and a lot of people in Seattle, Bellevue area did get laid off with severance packages, including him. So we now have a big decision to make, whether we stay here in the US or go back to Australia. It all depends on where he can find another job. So yeah, if anyone has any job opportunities or contacts for, jobs in tech, in program management, coding, that kind of stuff, yeah, just hit me up in the comments, especially if it's here in the Seattle, Bellevue area or even back in Australia.
They done left their home country, Australia, to come to America to build a better life for themselves, or what they thought would be a better life, just to have to go to TikTok and say, are there any jobs available? People are putting in thousands of applications. Do not let that go over your head. Thousands. It's crazy out here. They might have to go back to Australia. Who is to say Australia's economy is any better? It's not. I know somebody from there. I talk to him every day. It's not no better. It's actually worse. Man, that's a tough one, but we see some of the people that came over here can't afford to stay over here. The American citizens at this point in time can hardly afford to stay in this country and are contemplating other options, other countries.
Yeah, so if you got a job right now, stay there, because it is becoming progressively hard to get a new job. Tell me why I went into my local Choose this week, went in, filled out application online, called, and she's like, oh yeah, you want to set up an interview appointment? I said, let's get it. Thursday comes around. I'm there. I'm dressed up all nice. I walk in there with a smile on my face. I greet this one person. He tells me, okay, so we're going to do the one interview today. And then depending on how things go, we'll have a second interview and we'll send you an email regarding the second interview. Right then, right there, red flag goes off in my head thinking, I'm not getting this job at all. So they just told me to come in for an interview knowing damn well they're not going to give me the job. They just want to see what I look like. Mind you, any job I've ever gotten and I've had to do an in-person interview, I got the job the same day.
Used to be like that.
Apparently I do not fit the description of a Choose employee. We go to the interview. I think I do pretty good. Stumbled over my words a couple times, Long story short,
28 years ago, I started in this building as a contractor. And I know a lot of you guys want story time as to the last video. Listen, I don't want to leave. I like my job here. I'm going to miss my friends. I've said goodbye to everybody today. This is officially my last day at Microsoft. And, doing the old tour around to some buildings I used to work at and, saying goodbye to people. But this is where it started. This is where it's going to end. I do want to say, I know a lot of people think I have ill will or I'm angry. I'm just sad. I like working for Microsoft. I get it's a big corporation. And they can only do what they can do. But I want to thank them for all they've done for me over the years. I really have enjoyed working here, and I'm going to miss it an awful lot. So everybody that has all those weird comments in the last one, they really are a good company. I don't like how this is ending, but...
He's been there 20 years at Microsoft. His day-to-day schedule, he's gotten comfortable with. It's normal to him. Now he has to get used to being unemployed. He has to go back to the drawing board. After like 30 years, he probably thought he was going to retire. Now he got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what he's going to do. He said he's sad, but you see how emotionless people are because they're numb. They don't know how to feel. That's the state of the world right now, or at least America, numb. People are going through so much and they're just like, okay, on to the next one, on to the next thing. Problem after problem, what's the next one? You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh, all right, well, that happened. Okay, well, now this happened. Now I'm going through this. It's like a never It's like a never-ending cycle. Some people have been laid off multiple times this year alone, like a never-ending cycle. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. People can't feel. You don't even have time to feel, because you got to figure out what you're going to do next. What's your next move?
They really are a good company. I don't like how this is ending, but...
So I just found out that I did not get the job that I was interviewing for. I made it around to the final interviews and everything, and they just decided to go with somebody else. It is what it is. And in full transparency, it was definitely a rush application, and it was going to be the easier route that I knew I was settling for. So like, there's something in me that's not even like mad I didn't get it. It's just kind of like, oh damn, I could have had the security and the comfort that I like wanted so badly. But it's okay. There's other jobs to apply for. There's other things to have, working in my favor, and I'm just gonna keep on moving forward. It's not gonna break me. It ain't gonna shake me. It just is what it is. It's just the nature of the world of work we're in. So I'm gonna keep on moving, keep on doing my thing, and that's it. Didn't get the job.
The hardest part about unemployment, especially extended unemployment, whether you were impacted by layoffs or you were fired or whatever it may be, the hardest part is continuing to have the energy to show up for yourself in an environment, in a job market where the narrative is constantly telling you that you spending all this energy showing up for yourself is not adding up to anything.
And that's what I was trying to say.
And I can't tell you, like, how much energy it takes for me mentally every day to be doing the same thing over and over again, to constantly like be getting my hopes up and then not getting the job, or getting ghosted, or spending all this time doing these take-home assignments and then not hearing back or whatever. It is such an exhausting job market, but I don't have a choice. I have to continue to wake up. I have to take care of myself, or to the best of my ability. I have to go through all these motions day in and day out. I have to constantly change my approach, because maybe I'm not doing things right. Maybe everything they're telling me to do is not what I'm supposed to be doing, and maybe I should switch it up, because whatever they've been telling me to do, it's been months and I still haven't landed anything. So I have to change my approach. That constant code switching, that constant like need to feel like you're not doing it right because this job market is terrible and it's just constantly like hitting at your ego. That is what is so fucking hard about unemployment. You are just constantly putting in so much effort every day, not only to job search, but just to function as a human being.
Right.
Probably more so than you were doing when you had a full-time job, because this type of work is rooted in a lot of anxiety and uncertainty, which is just can be a lot harder to manage. And then you start to question yourself, like, is it me? Are all these rejections coming because like I'm stupid? What am I doing wrong? Like, what is wrong with me? And then you internalize it. You internalize these rejections. You internalize all of this negative energy that you're constantly facing every single day. And then you tell yourself, you convince yourself that it is a reflection of yourself. And doing that every single day, several times a day, it's not good for the mental health.
I'm not going to say it's you, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Y'all got to see, y'all doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You're expecting to get hired in an economy that's not hiring anymore. They're getting ready for AI to take all jobs. I can't say it no more clear than that, because that's the agenda. I've read the agenda. It's in the Great Reset, for the most part, the World Economic Forum. That's a part of their agenda, right? The world is transitioning over to a new system, a new monetary system, a new way of functioning and operating. So it's kind of insane, to be real. People have been misled. Y'all got to come to terms with it. I know it's a hard pill to digest, but the government has been working on this since 1992, at least. That's when they signed the agenda that I'm speaking of, the 2030 agenda. First, it was the 2020 agenda. They're behind. This is something they've been working on. It's not you. It's you fell for the bait. You haven't had time to pay attention to the signs. However y'all gonna feel about this in the comments, I can't do nothing but tell y'all the truth, man. YT, wake them up. Let's help wake somebody up. Let's show y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all see by now. I shouldn't even have to tell y'all. Y'all are seeing for yourselves. You kind of can't deny it. If you do, that's kind of foolish. But it can be a lot on you. It can be a lot on you not having a job, not knowing, like I said, when is your next dollar coming in? Are you going to be able to eat tomorrow? Are you going to lose your house, your apartment, wherever you stay? Right? The things that you work so hard for, will you be able to keep them? And it does take a toll on you. Come to terms with knowing that you've been lied to and misled. That's something within itself too. The unlearning to relearn process. The awakening process. It can be edifying, and at the same time, it can also come with anxiety and some stress. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Yahuwah, the Most High, He gonna make a way for those that believe in Him and have faith. Your life is already written. You are where you're supposed to be right now for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Some things take place for a season. That next season you might be up. The season before that you could have been down.
It's really not good. But again, we don't really have a choice. We have to wake up the next day. We have to continue to show up. Because we can't be unemployed forever. We cannot collect unemployment forever. But again, it just makes it so much harder because it's rooted in just so much anxiety and negativity and toxic thoughts about yourself that you're getting reminded of like consistently. Like, I am 32 years old. I have 10 years of professional experience. I have my master's from Georgetown. And I don't say that to brag. I feel like I could go on a whole tangent about higher education and how I think it's more valuable to have like real life work experience than a bachelor's degree, whatever. It doesn't matter. I have all these credentials, right, that to society are seemingly impressive. I even know a girl who like won a Forbes under 30 under 30 award. And no, she didn't pay for it. She legitimately won it for the work that she's done in marketing. And even she got laid off. Like, and here I am, just like, again, 10 years into my career, being like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And I'm sure there are some things I'm doing wrong. I'm sure I could clean up my interview answers. I'm sure my resume could be better, but you just don't know which variable you're not doing right. So you don't know like what to improve, or I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard to wake up every day, to show up for yourself, not just from like a job perspective, but just in general. Like, the world is fucked right now. The world is fucking fucked.
Right.
Okay?
And she knows that. So the only area you can improve in is improving your knowledge, increasing your knowledge. Taking the time that you are unemployed to learn about the changes that are happening in the world, what's coming next, and how to get through it. That's all you could do. That's all you could do. The transfer of wealth is in full effect. Full blown. Learn about it. You want to stay 7 steps ahead. Make your next move your best move.
And the economy sucks. The job market sucks. The world, again, society is just so fucked right now. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I have to get up. I have to show up. I have to put in all this unpaid labor into trying to figure out my next step. But I don't really know what my next step will be or when this chapter of my life will be over. And this is just constant in my brain, right? And that is what's so hard about unemployment. Showing up for yourself in a world that makes it really hard to do that. In a world that tells you what you're doing is not enough, even though you feel like you're putting in so much mental energy to do so.
I am a senior at Cornell. I've applied to over 300 jobs. Who has a job right now? It kind of sucks because the school's expensive. I'm an econ major. I have a 3.7 GPA, and I cannot get a full-time job. The only reason I'm not broke is because I've saved up working on campus and then also doing class action settlements on claim. Basically, brands pay you out. So I made like 8K doing that so far. Definitely recommend it. It's passive income. But if I didn't have that, I would literally be broke. I cannot get a job. I don't know, I might be cooked. What do I do?
If you ever need a little bit of reassurance that it's not you, it's the job market, just know that last week I applied and interviewed for a part-time bookseller position at a local bookstore near me. And mind you, this bookstore just happens to have a stationery section. It's like a bookstore, but they just casually have stationery products like most bookstores do. So I went to the interview, prepared to answer questions about books, about stationery, but I went in because I like books. Anyways, I get there, the interview, it goes good, could have gone much worse, could have gone better, but it went well. Like, have experience, I have full open availability. Again, this was a position that was part-time, 19 an hour, about cap 20 hours a week. Also, I mean, it's a retail job, so it doesn't matter, but I have a degree, and I also have conversational skills in 2 additional languages. And this bookstore was located in a highly tourism centered area, so I'm trilingual, applying for a part-time bookseller position at a tourist hub location. Anyways, they got back to me yesterday to tell me that I didn't get the job, which, you know, is fine. It's whatever. It happens. But what killed me the most about them telling me I didn't get the position was not because I didn't have the qualifications or the experience to back me applying for the position or having a bad interview. It was the fact that I was beat out by somebody with more stationary experience. Like, we're really at a point in time where we can't even get part-time retail positions because we're getting beat out by people with some of the most, like, specialized skill sets. Like, what do you mean, like, I didn't get the job?
There is no such thing as a good job anymore, and I think that we need to collectively just understand that. The days of just applying or walking with an application or calling or knowing a friend and getting a job, those days are completely over. And what's even worse is that, like, you can't even go get a job at anything under like $25 an hour and live a life by yourself, live a life independently. And I wish our parents understood that.
Everybody has some good points on this video. They did. You can't get a job, and if you do get a job, it's not enough for you to survive for real off of the income that they're paying you. Y'all gotta realize these companies are going out of business. This is the summary of this video. If you got a job, keep that job. If you do not have a job, then you have to worry about different ways to make money. If you got some savings, you need to learn how to invest those savings. If you don't have any savings, then you need to at least put a time investment into learning about the next financial system, because it is here. The next monetary system is here. The world is about to change within the next few months and the years following it. You do not want to be left behind. UBI will be the solution for most of the world. Programmable, traceable money, like what's going on in China right now. They're being locked out of their digital wallets, aka their bank accounts. They're being locked out of that. They're being denied access to buy groceries, pay rent. That's the purpose of the CBDC. That's the purpose of the stable coins, for control. It's centralized. We're going into Web 3, where you can become the owners of your data and everything that you possess, or you can be enslaved to the next monetary system. You see what Trump doing. To all the MAGA people, y'all been sold out. Y'all been told a lie as well. Y'all see all of the changes that Trump is making. Y'all see, if you've noticed today, 200 million is going towards Grok and AI defense. AI governance is on the way. We living through the end times. Time to get in your scriptures too if you don't know what's going on and connect the dots. That's all I can tell y'all. Peace to my Hebrew family. Shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one.